guys, it's Annabelle here at Showdown. I'm here with Tom, aka Sturm. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. Keeping busy.
Keeping busy? Yeah, you've been commentating a lot of games. What has been one exciting game?
Oh, well, I've been mostly keeping up with the Smash for Wii U streams. Been making sure all the commentators get all their spots. That's been a lot of fun. So far, not really too many upsets.
Yeah.
In doubles, Sam Sora and Skate got put in the losers a little earlier than anticipated, but they did make the losers run all the way back and win the tournament. Yeah. So now pools have just been basically kind of just going through the motions a bit. You know, all the top players are making it to Sunday.
Yeah.
It looks like everything's going to shape up for a big showdown tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to talk more about just your experience in just with E2C, just manager, and now you're doing commentating, and just what you've done for the Chicago. A little bit more about that.
Well, Chicago's a really big scene. You know, we have big regionals that bring a bunch of people down from all sorts of areas in the Midwest. Chicago's nice like that because it's smack dab in the center.
Yeah.
Easy to get to from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, all those places. And it's really convenient to be just a hub of the Midwest. And so we've been building this tournament series, Midwest Mayhem, to be one of those places where all the best from the Midwest can battle against each other, and we can bring in the national talent as well to help level up players. We've been doing, regionals since 2015, the Smash for Wii U, and our scene has gotten so much better since then.
Yeah.
But my heart, of course, lies in commentary, so I've been trying to move on, going into national appearances here and there. My most recent one was Hyrule Saga, which was a lot of fun. I got to do top 8 doubles with that with Max Ketchum, and that was an incredible tournament. We had Luigi Greninja win it, which is completely unheard of.
Right.
It was insane. And that's been a lot of fun for me personally, and I've been trying to build that brand going into Smash Ultimate, which is going to be really huge for not only all of us Smashers, but definitely the Midwest, definitely Chicago, everywhere. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so what specifically do you think made you gravitate?
Well, I love Smash Bros. Like, the thing about commentary is you can't do it if you don't love the game, right? If you don't love the game and you just go on there and you just want to, push yourself to be a star commentator, but you don't care about the game, it shows immediately from minute one. Like, people know when there's some guy who's commentating, he's just like, sucks, whatever. Like, they don't really mute their own personal thoughts on it. But you have to, your job as a commentator is to show your passion for not only the game, but for esports in general and for the whole scene as a whole. And that's what I really like to do. I love when I'm commentary. I really love to show people why this game is so great.
Yeah, I agree, and especially seeing just commentators for a while or just doing it for not as much, you can definitely see the passion through what they're saying, and just they're energetic or just excited about just anything happening. Being able to kind of tell a story for the viewers is what's going on, whether they know the game or just not know the game. I think that's also just very important. It's kind of just nice being able to do that. Yeah,
you make a good point about being a storyteller.
Yeah.
That's maybe one of the most important words to keep in the back of your mind as a commentator is you have a tournament bracket and you need to explain to people at home all the storylines, why is this upset so important? Why is this decision this player making so contrary to his usual play style, and things like that. You need to find those little interesting tidbits and share them with the audience, and then show them just how deep and dynamic our game is.
What are some things that you do to improve as a commentator? Do you watch other commentators and see kind of techniques that they use? Also, how do you improve on knowing the players? Do you kind of look at their past, where they all the matches they played, or where they came from, or certain characters they made? How do you, I guess, improve?
Researching players is really easy if you just keep up, with the national scene. You just, if you know, I've been keeping up with this since 2014, so I'm pretty familiar with how it all has worked out throughout the entire history of Smash 4. And going into the next game, and you just, it's easy to research when you just go back and look at old VODs, know all the pivotal tournaments, Genesis 3. This game was pretty much pre and post Genesis 3. That's one of the most important tournaments. And then going into the first and second summers of Smash after that, of course. And you just got to know every single big win for those players and how their careers have gone over time. It's a lot of information, but again, if you love the game, it's easy to keep up. But one piece of advice though that I do like to give to people, other than just listening to their own VODs and trying to find their little speech habits that you can iron out. That's important, of course. But another important thing is to look into commentators, not just in Smash, but in other esports too, because that's a great way to branch out your your commentary style and find things. See, like you find a commentator and you say, okay, I like what he's doing. I'm going to try to incorporate that into my style. Because my first introduction to esports was StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Back in like 2011, 2012, when that was around the Heart of the Swarm era.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the commentators that really influenced me were those like Artosis and Day 9 and Tasteless back in like the GSL days, and those were some of the biggest influences on me, especially how they have just a great rapport with each other.
Yeah.
They have a good conversation. It feels like you're just listening to two people on the couch having a conversation, you know, just having a good time, but then they're also telling just important imperative details about the game.
Yeah,
and
especially something that you wouldn't have thought about or known about.
Yeah, and that's part of why you can see they can love it, because this happens to me a lot, and I actually talked to some commentators about this, where you can be sitting at like a tournament you're not commentating, you're just sitting next to a guy, and you say, oh, he's going to do this, and this is like the thing you're going to do, and like you start commentating even though you're not commentating.
Right.
You just kind of do it naturally because that's what you love to do.
Yeah.
You know, you just like to point out all the the importance of the game.
Yeah, and that's funny that you bring up, or not funny, but like it's nice that you bring up StarCraft 2, because that was kind of like the first esports. Like back then, they got super huge, but at that time, I feel like no other game was like kind of like as big as StarCraft 2 is. And now they kind of like died down, but then now it's like starting to pick back up again. It's just kind of interesting seeing that just fluctuation.
That's the thing that's hard to see, like the forest through the trees, where like esports are going to be up and down. 2018 is definitely like down for viewers for Smash 4, but we all are confident that it'll rebound and that interest will definitely skyrocket as soon as Ultimate comes out. And like those are things we have to just persevere through our passion.
Oh yeah. And then I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, actually, and just saying how, like, League of Legends esports or like Overwatch esports, it's really huge right now. They have big production value for it, and then like big arenas specific to those games. Then how Smash is it's definitely still like always like getting up there and rising, but still kind of like grassroots. So like, how do you think the future of esports for Smash is going to be, especially with Ultimate?
Well, it's interesting because we'll have to see how sponsor interest takes off, and it's going to immediately start and end with viewership, as all things do, because viewership is really important. And I think it's going to be important on our end at the grassroots level to find a way to get Smash Ultimate and the ending games of Smash 4 too to new viewers, because like we have our like tight-knit community of people who not only just the people who go to tournaments, but the people who watch the tournaments. It's all that you see the same community names in the Twitch chats, and it's about trying to get interest out there for new people to join into those channels and trying to signal boost that as much as possible. And if we can get that going, and then we can get the interest of other people, other corporate interests, sponsor interests along the ride, that might see the pop bonuses go up. And it's just going to be a slow and steady ride.
Right, yeah.
These final days of Smash 4 are actually pretty important for that as well.
I agree. So let's talk about Chicago. So who are, I guess, like your personal favorite players, or who do you think is like up and coming? Like who do you think is going to do really well, at Showdown this season?
Well, we have Tyra and Ned. They are our number 1, number 2. They flip-flop pretty much every season. Like one will be Tyra will be number 1, then Ned will be number 1, and back and forth. It's looking like Tyra will probably be the number 1 next season, and he has a great PGR resume at this point. Going to be moving on probably, I think, to at least be like 35 on the next PGR V5 if I had to bet, which is great. And he's gonna, he's always like a name to watch out for, a name to find the upsets, find the big wins, and he has a pretty decent bracket, I would say, today. Ned, I actually haven't looked at his bracket, but he also is one of those people who's pretty confident. But he might be a little underseeded as well because he just hasn't been as active in the past several months. So we'll see if he can find some of those upsets too. The other big member of Chicago who, I wouldn't say big, but like he's an up-and-comer, is Snoofle, the Fox player. He's like usually in like the 7 to 10 range on our PRs, and he's always been like a last stock, last hit away from a breakout. So it's kind of just a matter of when, not if, for him, when he's going to find that big upset. It might be this tournament, it might be the next one, but he's been knocking on the door for that for a while. And I'm really hoping to see him do well this weekend.
Awesome. So how do you feel Chicago compares to all the other regions or all the other cities in the Midwest?
In the Midwest? I would take...
Or I guess not the Midwest, just I guess anywhere. But yeah, Midwest, then just national.
I'd take our Chicago PR... below for below against most Midwest PRs, except for Ohio when they have, you know, Tweak and Cosmos and everyone coming out of the woodwork. Sometimes they don't actually qualify for the local PRs in Ohio because of inactivity and because simply they're just busy traveling, of course. But those guys are killers over in Ohio. As far as other regions go, it's been a long time since we had the Chicago versus SoCal crew battle, or it was a Midwest SoCal crew battle.
Yeah.
That was at Midwest Mayhem Saga a year plus ago, and that one went down to the wire, and our guys have leveled up a ton since then. So I would love I'd love to see a run back of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. Good luck for the rest of the day with comments.
Thank you.
Have a good showdown.
Good luck with the interviews.
All right, thanks.